Thanks to social networking apps, it's never been easier to keep in contact with your friends. Many of the best social networking apps out there have been around for a while, but as smartphones get smarter, so do the apps, and it can now do more than ever. From fan favourites like Instagram and Facebook to newcomers like Hinge or Secret, there's never been a better time to find a social network that's tailored to your tastes. I am now going to be asking some members of the public what they think is the most popular social media app. What do you think is the most popular social media app?
Twitter.
What do you think is the most popular social media app?
I would say either Instagram or Facebook.
What do you think is the most popular social media app?
In my opinion, it's Twitter.
What do you think is the most popular social media app?
Twitter, probably.
What do you think is the most popular social media app?
Facebook.
What do you think is the most popular social media app?
I would say Instagram, as you can show pictures throughout your life, and you can update people. I would say the same as Twitter as well, as it is a way of communicating with people, and it's a way of doing business opportunities as well.
I am now going to be interviewing Head of Media Department, Peter Hodges, who will be expressing his views and opinions on social media. Could you state your name and occupation?
Peter Hodges, teacher, head of media at Talis.
As Head of Media and Film at Thomas Tyler School, do you use social media every day?
What do you mean, for my job or for my own interests?
Just in general.
In general, okay. Yeah, I use it every day.
What social media app do you use most?
The most, don't know, Tumblr maybe. It's kind of a mixture between Twitter and Tumblr, so I follow loads of stuff on both of them. Each day I look through what other people have posted and then go to websites based on that. When I post, I don't really write very much on them. And when I do tend to post, they tend to be photographs. And I actually post them to either Instagram or IM, which is another photography social media app. And then from there, they end up on my Twitter, my Tumblr and my Facebook.
What is your opinion on social media apps?
What's my opinion on them? In what sense? What do you mean? What do I think about them? There's so many of them, it's difficult to say, really. My opinion is that it's an interesting way to share things with whoever might be following you. But I suppose sometimes I do wonder about what people are sharing and find it all a bit boring or pointless. It all depends. I mean, with Facebook and with Twitter, I'm not really interested in individuals. Like the people that are my friends on Facebook, if I want to talk to them, I'll send them a message, but it's pretty rare because most of the time I'll ring them up or text them. Most of the things that I use Facebook for are like when I follow stuff to do with music or films on there that leads me somewhere else. So my opinion is that for me, as a personal thing, I don't really use it that much to contact people, but I do share some of my photos. I suppose you've got to have the time to use it, and you've got to be quite skilled in self-promotion. Like there's definitely some weird people that I follow on there. And when I say weird, what they post I'm quite interested in, but the way they do it, they're really obsessed by it. So they clearly understand, they know like loads of weird little tricks and how to get like 20 or 30,000 followers really easily. And I don't understand none of that at all.
You said that Tumblr is the most popular app. Given there are so many apps, which app do you think is the most popular and why?
I mean, the top apps it's got to be Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, isn't it? I guess, but Facebook's kind of, I don't know. Lots of people, like that's how I use it really. There's quite a few people that don't really bother putting stuff on Facebook anymore. It depends on your age as well, and a lot of people would rather go onto Twitter or Instagram, and then things go onto Facebook from there. But then, you know, there's loads of apps that I don't use, that young people use, like WhatsApp and Snapchat and all that kind of nonsense that doesn't make sense to me, but that's because I'm older.
How do you think that social media apps are affecting the youth of today?
How do I think they're affecting them? Well, I think in some ways they're affecting them really positively, in ways that people can share something or other, and it's obviously it's a social thing. The clue's in the name, isn't it? So, in that sense, it's great that you can talk to people in different ways. So, you know, when I was a kid, which is a very long time ago, there wasn't even any internet. So your social life there was no mobile phones either. So, you know, it makes a massive difference. But I wonder if there's less real world interaction, less actual interaction between a person and a person without some kind of computer or phone, i.e. form of media in the way, because that's what media is. It's about mediating. It's about something being between one person and another when they talk to each other. So in that sense, that's maybe not such a good thing, but in other ways it is a good thing because it means people maybe are more sociable. A key problem though, of course, probably with young people more than older people, but not totally, is that it allows for easy, I guess for want of a better word, for easy bullying or easy kind of, you know, putting someone down or whatever, or calling someone out or something. So, and people like to hide when they do this kind of stuff. People will be posting photos of people that are really offensive with horrible comments underneath, or actual direct messages and weird offensive Snapchat stuff, you know. So unfortunately it's done for young people, as well as opening up a nice and more interesting way to socialise and learn things and find stuff out, is it's also another avenue or way to upset people, bully people or whatever else. So there's positive and negative points really.
Do you think more should be done to stop the negative effects of social media apps on youth? Do you think it's having a detrimental effect on the way youth are growing up?
I don't think it's the kind of thing you're going to know until a number of years in the future, whether it's having a detrimental effect. I suppose I would possibly argue with someone who's been teaching for 14, 15 years that there's definitely a change in everyday behaviour with some young people. I think, and this is something that people used to worry about 10 years ago, but other people in the news and wherever thought maybe wasn't going to be a problem. I do think maybe young people more than people in their 30s and 40s, I think that their focus, their ability to focus has been harmed. I don't know if harm's the right word, but has changed based on constant internet, smartphone and whatever else use. So I think there's a negative effect in that sense. I think people can't concentrate in ways for a long period of time like they used to be able to. I don't really know what to do about kind of negativity around bullying and things like that. I think people just need to report it more, and also what will happen is more and more new laws will be made in order to try and combat and stop these things. But the nature of the internet, and of course all social media apps and or websites are, you know, web-based in one way or another, is it supposed to be something that isn't really regulated, or is regulated less than other media, because there's supposed to be this idea it was set up in a way where it's supposed to be as free as possible to get around, you know, issues of censorship and things like that.
Finally, can we live in a society where social media apps are used but in a way where there are no negative repercussions?
No, would be the short answer, because people have an inbuilt instinctual tendency to be negative from time to time. Every one of us has got that in us. Not all of us act in a negative way all of the time, but all of us probably, if we were to admit it, have acted in a negative way at one point or another. I just think it's natural for people to not like other people. So for thousands and thousands of years we've been fighting wars, arguing, disagreeing about this country and that country or whatever. So I don't think it's possible to completely eradicate negativity, because it'll always exist somewhere or other. And social media is an extension of what it is to be a person, and you know, we've all got negative elements to us. I'm not saying we aren't positive as well, but I don't think you'll ever get rid of the negative side of it.
Thank you, Mr. Hodges. I am now going to be interviewing a former student at Thomas Taylor School, Louis Sparks, who will be expressing his views and sharing his ideas with us. Could you state your name and your occupation?
My name is Louis Sparks and I'm a student here at Thomas Taylor School.
Today I'm going to be questioning you about social media. What is your opinion on social media?
Social media is a great thing when used right. You can stay in contact with loads of people. I've got friends from America and Canada and all over the world, right? And I've got family from far, far away, and it's just great to be able to contact them. But when it's used badly is when people are starting to fish for likes and attention seeker, and it just gets very, very repetitive and looks really, really bad. And it just makes people want to stay away from those sites. Just, you need to use it well. You know, I think a great quote to use is from Spider-Man, and it's with great power comes great responsibility. So I think that can be said the same for social media.
So what is your favourite social media app?
Probably YouTube, because you can find anything on there from years and years and years ago.
Do you think it is affecting the generation that we are in?
Yes, I do think it's affecting the generation we are in, because things like Instagram, and people are desperate to become Instagram famous and worry about how people have liked photographs and stuff, and they get very nervous. Oh, I've only got 30 likes and things like that, and it makes people feel very self-conscious, very sort of on the outskirts of society and stuff like that, and it can be quite harrowing how people are so dependent on someone double tapping a photograph or commenting or favouriting or retweeting. It can be, you know, so many people just worry about these sorts of things.
Do you think it provokes cyberbullying?
Yes, I do, to a certain extent, because people can be like can be quite nasty on certain things. Like, I joined YouTube when I was 10. The first comment I got was "Go fuck yourself." On, you know, I hadn't even posted a video or anything. Someone had just stumbled across my YouTube channel and went, "Go fuck yourself," and it was just.
Social media applications are extremely popular in this generation. Do you think people will be the same without these applications?
No, because people have suddenly become so dependent on checking Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, whatever. They're so dependent on looking at it. It's making a generation of people that actually don't want to be social in real life, but are dependent on how people are viewing them on their phone. And you'll see loads of people, I'm guilty of it, you know, sitting there and just scrolling through their phone like that, trying to just talk to people. Do you know what I mean?
So do you think it affects adults as well as youth?
Oh yes, definitely, definitely. My dad's a prime example. He's in his late 50s and he's only really discovered Facebook recently, and he's on it every day. He's uploading videos of himself, he's uploading pictures of himself, he's talking absolute rubbish on there, and it's just, there you go.
Do you think we'll be better off without social media apps?
Yes and no, because people are so dependent on it. It would be good to take it away for a little while and see how people reacted and how people would act as people without that. However, social media is a good thing because you can spread messages of campaigns and trying to get crowdfunding. Like, there was a film we watched here at school called Leave to Remain, and that film wouldn't have been shown on BBC4 without social media, because people use word of mouth, and it was a crowdsourcing technique. So that wouldn't have been made without social media. So there are benefits of social media and how it comes out and stuff.
Do you think people will be more sociable without social media apps?
It's just, people are so dependent on it and talk to people on it, and things like Tinder and stuff like that. People would just be just like, they'd feel like they'd probably get withdrawal symptoms and stuff, you know.
Finally, can we live even in a society where social media apps are used, but in a way where there are no negative repercussions?
No, because people in this world are not very nice. You get lots of people in this world that are rather negative, and they just haven't got anything else better to do than to rant on everything. and just not very nice people, and just there's people that just feel like they need to comment on everything on social media and stuff, and it's just why.
Thank you, Mr. Sparks. In the next 24 hours, 700,000 people will join Facebook, bringing its total users to 127 million in the US alone. That's 41% of all Americans. Today, they will tag, post, view, share more than 1 billion pieces of information. If content were burgers, Facebook would move 238 times the burgers McDonald's sells in a day. In the next 24 hours, the virtual Facebook game Farmville will sell more than 1 million in digital farming equipment. In fact, digital tractors now outsell real ones in the US. 65 million users now access Facebook through their smartphones. In the next 24 hours, 90,000 iPhones and 160,000 Android devices will be sold. Smartphones have put social in our hands. No wonder 300,000 people will join Twitter today, sending more than 44,481 tweets per minute. The most popular Twitter user, Lady Gaga, has more followers than the president, and will reach more people with a single tweet than Wall Street Journal, USA Today, the New York Times combined will reach in print today. YouTube is now the 4th most visited site in the world, and the 2nd largest search engine in the world. 24 hours of video are uploaded every minute. That's 1.1 billion hours of video content added every 24 hours. So what does all this mean? When only 14% of people trust advertising and 90% trust recommendations via social media, it means if you're not taking social media seriously, give it 24 hours to change your mind.